Hey guys, my name's Ronnie.
And I'm Nas.
And we are New Girls on the Block.
Yeah.
Yes, I know y'all see it. This week we're in a new setup.
Yes.
I hope y'all like it.
I know. Give us some feedback, y'all, because we love it. It looks so
I feel like it's giving professional.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's giving the vibes. It's giving everything it needs to give.
Definitely is, y'all.
Yes. So this week we're going to be talking about something very spooky.
Yeah, since it's that time of year,
yes,
y'all.
Yes, it's that season. By the time y'all watching this, it's not going to be Halloween quite yet, but, you know, it's that season.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Right after Halloween, it's going to go right into Christmas.
Yeah, we skipping Thanksgiving. Straight to Christmas.
Period. So, yeah, we're going to get started on our weeks first.
Of
and
course.
Then we're going to get into our topics. Mm-hmm. So, friend, how's your week?
My week was really eventful. I'd done some new changes. I'm not going to get too much into it because
it ain't none of y'all business.
Kind of. But not like that, y'all. You know, I love y'all. But yeah, some new changes in my transitioning. Yeah, most definitely. And just, you know, dealing with that. And then I spent some time with some old friends, which really was really good. Like, I missed them. And it's like nice to really like.
You was turning up?
Yeah, a little too much because I can't hang like I used to. Not kidding. But yeah, we went out for my friend's birthday and just enjoyed some drinks and enjoyed their company. And I was able to see like friends I haven't seen in so long. It's like at least it's usually like once a year I pop out and pop up and then get to enjoy, you know, some old friends' company. So I did that, spent some time with her and some other friends and just getting my life in order, y'all.
I feel that. I feel like it's like, even though it's winter, I feel like it's a time to like really be focused.
Yeah,
and like
definitely.
really like, my friend was telling me it's like an eclipse happening where people are letting go of things that don't, or it's a time where you should let go of things that don't serve you.
Yeah.
You're like coming into a new space, a new clarity. And I don't know if it's our age, if it's the time, the craziness happening around us, but I feel like everybody around me is like shifting right now. But if y'all watch the podcast, I feel like we're always shifting and growing and changing.
Definitely. So, making positive changes. But how about you, friend?
I have had a good week. It was very interesting. Like, we've talked offline about my craziness that's been happening. But, you know, all in all, we ball. I got hired at that job I was telling y'all about. It's 2 jobs shorty now.
Period.
And I'm still clocking every week to talk to y'all. So I'm excited for that. Yes. I'm just feeling like I'm laying down the bricks and everything is aligning to where it's showing me that I'm doing the right thing I'm supposed to be doing. From the career choice I made a few months ago to the career choices I'm making now to like committing to go back to school to get my degree. I just feel like I'm not only healing myself, I'm working on healing the people around me, but not by trying to impede on them. By just being the best version of me and just letting that speak for itself.
True, because that's inspirational to something. Like, that could really influence somebody to even do better for themselves, you know?
So I've been doing that. Just been trying to keep my mind busy and really, like, stick by, if it don't serve you, don't even focus on it. Like, I'm not giving people second chances. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I'm just like, hey, this seemed crazy. I can't fix it. That's not my job. Girl. Like, I'm past that point, and I'm just like growing, and you know, like I'm just moving. It's like a lot of moving parts. So that was good. Just shifting into another part of my career. What else has been going on? I feel like every week is somebody's birthday.
Yeah, true.
Not really. That's the highlight of my week, really. Just doing that. I've been working on a little side project. Y'all gonna see it soon.
Ew.
So I'm excited for that. I don't want to speak too much on it until it's just out and in fruition. But you know, I feel like I'm gonna get into a more serious part of myself. It's fun, but it's like, y'all gonna see soon. So Shorty been working.
Period.
I've been working. Get into it. I got glasses, y'all. I can see.
She can see.
I can see. Yes.
We love that.
I'm excited. So, you know, I got clarity. I got vision now.
Yep. 2020, y'all. We see
y'all not messing with me. So
I love it.
Yes, my week has been good to say the least.
That's good.
Yes.
Glowing and growing, y'all.
Yes, but onto a spookier topic, you know, onto some situations that are not so good.
Yeah, I mean, it could be not so good, but it could be just a little creepy. Because I got some, like, I pulled some stories that's kind of like, wait, what? So we're going to get into it, y'all. We pulled up some Reddit stories, and we're going to share some of our experiences, because I got some spooky experiences. She got some spooky experiences.
Yes.
So we're going to get into it. Do you want to start off with our Reddits or your personal? Which one you feeling?
I don't know. I feel like we need to get into our tea first. Okay. Like the Reddits, maybe we could go back and forth.
Yeah, definitely.
One of our stories, then a Reddit story, then maybe finish it off with one of our stories, you know.
Okay, I feel it. So
do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, so I'm going to start kind of light on the first one. It wasn't light to me at the time, but now I can look back and be like, whoever made that movie did that. Like, they did that. So, let's get into it, guys. It's Freddy.
Friday the 13th. Okay. Guess who played her?
Period. Full circle. I knew I was supposed to be a Barb. But, yeah. So, basically, okay, at a young age, my godmom, she had a huge DVD collection. Like, every movie, like, I've seen so many movies, and that's why I feel like I'm a movie person now. I really appreciate it. But she used to tell me, like, certain movies you can't watch, you know? Like, I wasn't allowed to watch the Notorious B.I.G. But I also, from a young age, she was like, you need to stay away from those scary movies. Like, I'm already, like, very jumpy as a person as it is. Yeah. Girl, tell me why she had the whole box set of The Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. And what I do? Watch it.
The whole box set?
The whole box set, alone when she wasn't home, in the dark, at night. I was in the first childhood home I can remember, so you know I was young. I was definitely like 6.
Okay, yeah.
Like around that age. Girl, when I told you I watched it all, I was spooked. Yeah. And if you guys don't know, I know you guys probably know, but Freddy, it's literally about a serial killer that was like a child pedophile, like a real big creep. Dreams. And he was hunting teenagers, specifically children, young adults in their dreams. Like, and like, I just don't know what I was thinking, y'all. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It got to the point where I was so afraid that I didn't go to sleep because I thought he was coming after me. Like, I thought he was about to kill me in my dreams. So I stopped going to sleep. But, you know, when you don't sleep for a few days, you start to kind of go crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
And I brush my teeth, and now I think I seen Freddy. Girl.
It had you in a chokehold?
When I say in a chokehold, I was traumatized. I was so scared. I was spooked, to say the least. I was traumatized, y'all. Like, let's just say that was my first experience seeing a therapist.
Oh my God.
That's how traumatized I was, because I was convinced that he was going to kill me. Like, I just knew he was going to kill me. And then I would have swore, like, when it would be me alone, I would just see people, him quickly walk by the door, or I'll be in the bathroom. Just, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I'm scared. I know I seen his hat. Like, when I tell you, it was to the point where I couldn't of course, I couldn't watch that movie anymore. Yeah. But one day I went to school, and I think I was getting bullied, and I was like, you know, he's coming for you. And the kids were like, what? I was like, Freddy, he's coming.
Right now.
Yeah. I'm just like, like, I seen it in my dreams. He's about to come for all of us. And then I just start crying, and everybody was just like, girl.
Dang, like had you
he had me spooked. No more Freddy for me for a long time. I couldn't watch it until I was like a teenager. Like talk about close to adulthood. I couldn't watch it. Like I had to like really come to the understanding that he was not going to come and get me. Yeah. But I really feel like I gained a new appreciation for it, because I was definitely in therapy for over a year with that, like just unpacking that, because I was so terrified. I was really, really terrified. But did he not do what he was supposed to do?
He obviously did the job.
Yes.
I wonder how many people did that. Like,
yes, and it was like that was really what it's about. Yeah. But now I have like, I think that's what sparked my interest. I love horror movies now. Okay, yeah. And I feel like that's my favorite because they really did what they set out to do and scared the hell out there. Like, Ronnie. 6-year-old Ronnie. But it's like,
they did that.
Yeah, they did that. So from seeing him in the mirror to being afraid to fall asleep and just like literally being so tired in class, I'm passing out because I cannot go to sleep. And then it would be times like it was a scene in the movie where he actually was at a school, like the kids would start like it was like
he was in
I was in the damn movie.
Oh my God.
It was like one of the movies where like the girl found out like, okay, if I don't dream, if I don't go to sleep, he can't get me because he only comes in the dreams. So I'm like, okay, I can't sleep either. And in the movie, she falls asleep in class. This nigga come down the hallway like, it's Freddie. Like, and I was falling asleep in class and I was having dreams that this man was in my classroom.
That is scary though.
It just like took over my life.
Yeah, because imagine being a kid and that's like, okay, you believe that that's what's going to happen. Like, that's scary.
Like, I was so scared and nobody could help me. And my nana, thank God, because she didn't even believe in like therapy like that. I don't even think she ever seen a therapist. She was like, seek help because you need it.
Oh my God.
That was one of my first experience with just like being shooketh. Like I was shooketh to the core. Medically scared. I was afraid.
Did the job and got you out of that
and really helped me be understanding that it's just a movie. Nobody's gonna come get me. But like now I love Freddy.
That's good.
I love horror movies.
Because that's scary. But that just reminded me because growing up, I wasn't able to watch those type of movies either. But it was when Freddy versus Jason came out, there's like, okay, my parents was like, y'all can watch it with us.
See, and by that time I was like, this is light work. This is funny to me.
And I feel like I think that came out 03-ish, and I was probably like 8. So I was a little bit older where it didn't affect me that much. But I did the previous night before, because I was still kind of scared and shook of scary movies. But the previous night before, I had a dream that Freddy was coming to get me, and I pictured him in my head of what he would look. He was in the tub. Like, I went to the bathroom, and it was just blood on the wall. He was I feel like
there's a scene like that. Really? Like, there's a scene where the girl...
That's the crazy thing.
Scene. I'm telling you, his spirit
low-key something.
I didn't want to talk about that man too much because low-key, I might still... a little bit, a part of my brain is still shook because there's a movie where a girl's in the bathtub. She's just chilling, listening to music. He, like, comes from, like, she falls asleep in the bathtub. So now he's able to penetrate her, and he literally, his hand comes out of the water. You just see, like, it's a famous scene of her laying back. Between her legs, you just see a scary hand. And then it just, and the whole, all over, everywhere, is just blood in the bathroom.
That's what I didn't even see, I still ain't seen that scene.
You're going to have to watch that.
Oh my God, because that was...
Maybe.
It was like but in mine, he was like on the wall with the blood. Like, it was like, I could see him. And I was like, oh, like, start freaking out. And I woke up. But then I watched it and I told my parents about it. And I was like, oh my God, I had a dream about him before we watched the movie, blah, blah. But when I watched Freddy vs. Jason, I wasn't scared. Because that one, it was more comedy. It wasn't as scary. So it didn't spook me too much. But that dream, I had me shook. Spooked. I was like, ooh. Freddy.
If you watch the movie, you're gonna be like, dang, this can't. And even like the scene is a scene where like the girl's running down the street in a white t-shirt and a white button down. But I feel like that's like a classic horror scene. But I've even had nightmares of that, like of me like running into the street with just a white t-shirt and I'm screaming for help, but nobody's, because I'm in my dreams. But this is like as a teenager, so I was randomly still have dreams, but I feel like for the most part I'm over it. Like I feel like he'd a goat.
Yeah,
he did that. And now it's more comical than anything.
Definitely. Because I tried to watch old ones at this age, and I was like, this is cheesy. Like, I literally had to turn it off because it was so, like,
corny.
And corny. And I'm like,
I think the first two were, like, the scariest, and then it kind of got really funny. It was, like, I feel like it was almost like a satire of a satirical comedy. He was making fun of, like, how corny a serial killer could be.
I think... Because I did watch the first one that ever came out, but I think it's just how dated it is. Maybe back in the 80s when that was popping, when it first came out, it would have been scary to me, but how much time changed, and it's like, this ain't nothing. Like, it's not. Yeah, and being an adult, I'm like, this is pretty whack and cheesy.
I can see that.
Yeah, but okay, let's see. Do you want to jump into another story, or do you want to jump into one of these Reddit stories?
We could definitely jump into a Reddit story.
Okay,
let's see what y'all afraid of.
You want to go first?
Yes.
I tell my little
let me see. Let me pull up my little clippity clip.
Yeah. And see. Okay. So I got a couple for y'all.
Okay. Okay, elevator music over. Okay.
Intermission over.
Yes, intermission over. So let's get into our first Reddit story. Yeah. I'm going to be reading off my phone, y'all. So this is a Reddit story from a guy. He had 2 stories. So I'm going to read the... should I read the first one first? I'm going to read the second one because I feel like that was really creepy.
Okay, yeah.
So... there's this guy. There's a friend of mine. We're going to call him T. So T's dad was an alcoholic, and you can imagine all the bad things that alcoholism comes with and that affects T's life. They were extremely poor. He's doing great now because he is super dedicated and very humble, but they were poor at first. And then his dad got diagnosed with tuberculosis. He should have took that TB test, y'all. He was hospitalized, and they were things got really, really bad. So now in the apartment below T apartment, there lives a family who has a mentally challenged man in his late 40s or 50s. He was not married. Family because he was not married, and he rarely stepped out of the house. This older man. So one morning around 5 a.m. while T's father was hospitalized, the old man knocked on his door. T opened the door, and the man said, "Why aren't you dressed yet? You got to get ready to go visit your dad. This is the last time you're going to go visit your dad." That was the day T's father died in the hospital. And he later told me of this incident. I really don't think my friends would be lying or trying to convince me of these stories because it would be something serious to talk about their parents. So, yes,
imagine
the
that
ill neighbor who never comes out the house.
Yeah, who probably never spoke to him ever before and say something like that.
Like,
I would be like, oh, let me go. Yeah. I really panic.
Or would that upset you? Like, realistically? No. It wouldn't. You would be like, okay, let me listen to this guy.
Yeah, because how
would he know
often
that?
And how realistic would that be? Like, just, oh, you just lying. No, obviously he in tune with something.
Yeah.
And something going on in his head to know. And then that actually happened. Like, I'd be like,
yikes.
Yeah, that would have really, I don't know. That would have made me feel like really, I guess it would have made me uncomfortable. And just like, dang, like, but what can you do? He told the truth.
Yeah, true. Your dad died.
Yeah, no shade, but it happened. So I feel like I would be more like, dang. I mean, I'm glad that because what if I don't know if he ended up going. Did he end up going? It didn't say, huh?
It just said that was the day his father died. Yeah,
so he probably.
I hope he went and seen his dad for the last time.
Yeah,
but and then it's just like after that happens, you go and talk to that guy and be like, how did you know that? Or what if the guy doesn't? Or you would look crazy because if their parents open the door, whoever's taking care of them, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
Like, he never left his he never even left the house. Like, he never even left the house.
Yeah, and then it's just up to you and him to believe. And he never leave the house, so it's like you can't just see him walking down the hall and be like, how did you know?
That's scary.
That is scary.
Yeah, that would have me spooked.
That would have. Okay, so do you have a good one?
Yeah, so this one's a little really creepy. So this one says, I woke up to a man in the window. Hi, my name is Taylor. I've been having really fucked up dreams where I wake up to a man screaming through my window and staring into my eyes. Last week on Tuesday, about 5:30 a.m., I thought I woke up to my curtains wide open and a man staring at me. He had no eyes, no teeth, and his nose and ears were missing. The night after, I had a bad dream where a tall black figure with long hair climbed into my bed with me, and I heard it breathe into my ear. I just stared at my wall, too scared to turn around, and looked at it, stretched my arm out, and turned on my light at the bottom of my bed where there was a small, black, almost childlike, three-dimensional figure. It had no shadow as it walked near it. as I walked near it. I went through it. I guess she went through it, or they went through it, but it stood there staring at me. I somehow grabbed the manifestation and threw it across the room. Period. I lived alone and have since moved out of that house. Maybe we do live in the Matrix and spectators are watching our every move. I would have been so spooked.
I would have been scared as hell.
No eyes, no mouth. Like, imagine that, like, just like, then wake
like
up
a
in this
figure with no demons. Eyes, no mouth, no ears, no nothing.
Yeah, like, would you?
No soul.
For real, like, would you think that that's like, I don't know, how would you? Because I never.
So that brings me, like, do you think, because I feel like our dreams are a special place. Definitely. Like that, I don't know if it's another dimension that we're going into and we just forget about because we can't use the capacity of our full brain. But I do sometimes wonder, it's like when we're dreaming and doing all these things, it's a reflection or a manifestation of a different dimension or what we could possibly do. And within our dreams, when we see scary things like this, like sleep paralysis, things that people cannot understand, where our brain is like manifesting these wicked things that we've never seen within real life, are those possibly like maybe demons or like things coming from different dimensions that now, since we're not in a conscious planes, we're on a whole different plane, so now we can interact with each other?
It could. That sounds about convincing to me. I've never. Okay, so I'll go into one of my dreams that I had, because it wasn't demons, because I usually don't have dreams about like crazy demon stuff, but I had this one dream where, and it always happens when I will wake up in the middle of the night and then fall back to sleep. I'll have like some weird
like Inception.
Kind of like I'll wake up in real life and then like be up for a bit. You know, like sometimes you wake up and then you can't go back to sleep, and then I'll go back to sleep and then I'll be in this different, like, it's not a regular dream. It's like a more conscious dream. So one night that happened to me, and I went into this place and I was floating, and it was like mountains and green air, like greenery, and like it looked beautiful. It was like a beautiful scene. And I'm just like, what? Like, where am I?
What's going on?
And I seen other people like flying, like humans.
People like flying with their arms?
No, just like gliding through the air.
Oh,
floating.
Okay.
And I've never had like flying dreams or nothing like that. So I'm just like where am I? Like, kind of like, because I was conscious and knowing like this is awkward, this is weird. So I'm like looking around and I see some people start staring at me like, oh, she's realizing that. Like she's not supposed to be here. And out of nowhere, like I seen them like giving me weird looks, and I'm just like, so out of nowhere, I heard like the loudest, craziest sound. Like, it was, my whole body was hurting. How, like, it was like a screech, like as loud as anything I ever heard, and I felt it through my whole body. And I'm like, I started trying to scream, nothing was coming out, and I'm just like, like trying to scream as loud as I can. I just felt it, like, felt my throat straining, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I don't know where I'll wake up in sleep paralysis though. So I feel like I kind of got kicked out of that plane, but you woke up, but you're in sleep paralysis, and I couldn't move. And I'm like, what is going on? So like your body woke up, but your brain didn't. Yeah, almost? I think my body was I think my body was still asleep, but my brain brain was the one that was awake. Like, I tried to get up, I couldn't move, I couldn't do nothing, and I'm like, what? And I felt like that was kind of like one of the longest sleep paralysis that I had, because I'm like trying to figure out how to wake myself up, and I felt like my body wasn't ready to get up yet. I just got kicked out of this dream, and then now it's like, but then I end up, of course, waking up. But that's scary though, because like, what do you remember? Were you conscious like the whole time you were in sleep paralysis, and then you just like close your eyes and you're awake, or like, so what is that like? Usually with my sleep paralysis, I'll be in this, like, I'll be like, I'm up, but I can't move, and I can't get up, and I'll feel myself like, if my arms are here, I'll feel myself like reaching over to try to roll over, but it just feels too heavy. Move. I even feel like my, I guess, soul is lifting up, but I can't like lift your body, like lifting up, but yeah, I still see my body in the same place, and I'm like trying to like roll over or get out of it, and I just keep getting like stuck, like I'm never able to pull out of it in a way. So that's what usually happens to me, and that kept going on, and then it was switched to a dream though. Like, it'll be that, me trying to get out of it, and then I'll like blink a couple or like close my eyes for a bit, and I'm in a dream state. So I could be in a dream, but I'm still conscious. I know that this is like
not real.
Yeah, so
These motherfuckers are not real.
So that's what it was. It kept switching back and forth, like
that's scary.
Until I actually wake up.
But you're conscious the whole time.
Yeah,
that's in a dream. Diabolical.
I know. So stuff like that be happening, and that was like kind of my craziest experience with sleep paralysis because I just don't know where I was, and I'm like, this place is nice, and then everybody looking at me like I'm crazy, and I feel like it probably was a different dimension where most people, like a normal person like me, shouldn't have been there in a way, because that whole screech and that whole pull out was like,
it was not normal.
Yeah, I'm like, wait,
it sounds
what?
Scary.
It was like, I felt like that was like kind of the worst, like, especially sleep, because you don't really, I don't know if you ever feel pain. I don't feel pain unless sleep, like if something's going on.
I feel fear,
but like not like if you like get hit, no, you don't really feel the pain of that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so this is my first time actually feeling like physical uncomfort in a dream, and that was
have you ever had like such a vivid dream that it bothered you throughout your whole day because you're like, this can't, and then you remember it so clearly, you're just like, nah, this is not right?
Yeah.
Is it like, I wonder, is it like the egg and chicken thing? Like, is it our brain constructing these things because we're subconsciously thinking about it?
Yeah.
Or is it things that we need to be thinking about that we're pushing back, that's kind of like trying to have its own life or come to fruition some kind of way, even through our subconscious?
Like, I think my theory, because I can't say it's like true or nothing, but for me, I think we physically do at some time, some dreams could just be like nonsense, but I do think we have the ability when we're sleeping to physically go into like either another dimension or another universe, or where another you kind of like that's probably living in a different universe, because literally I've had dreams where I'm hanging out with the same group of people, then I'll like a couple nights pass, I'm back, and I'm like, hey y'all, yeah, like, oh, what's up, like, and it's like I've never met these people in my life. It's like I'm connected to these people in some type of way, but not in this plane of existence, maybe in another plane of existence. And because I'm still me, but it's just a different friends group, and a reoccurring friends group, and a reoccurring like environment that I'm
in.
Yeah, and I'm not used to in this world. So it's like, I feel like, and I mean, the brain is elaborate, so it could be coming up, but I feel like it has to be some type of...
Is it like world building, like in a video game, where it's like blank space, and as we are experiencing within our real life, kind of creates how far we could go in our dream life?
Maybe, but would you think that that's still another like dimensional or another universal?
I do think that we operate on different planes of existence, for sure. It's just too much in this world that points to that.
Definitely.
I don't know. And it's so interesting to me thinking, because like even what you said earlier, where everybody noticed you and was like, she don't belong here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, in our reality, do things that are weird happen and we're like, this is not right?
Yeah.
Like what? I'm trying to think of something that has occurred within our reality, and it's just like, you must have came from a different dimension, or it's like, is there certain people where we're just at awe at that create like history, and we're just like, oh, you're from a different dimension, you must have slipped in here. Or if it's like little things, like sometimes I be feeling like people be glitching, like for real. There's 2 times in my life where I've looked at a car and the people seem to be having like, I think I was telling you, whereas people just like, they almost look like they're being possessed. Yeah. Like they're like, I was driving to San Diego with my friend, with 2 of my friends before, and I feel like if they weren't there, nobody would have believed me. But we literally looked to the side, and the person was fully like, his hand was on the wheel, but he was staring directly at us, like, and it was almost like he was screaming, and his face looked so distorted, and like it was so scary, and we all turned around, was like, what the what the hell? And I recently seen that, and I was just like, maybe people be on the phone having really but the way their face looks, it looks like it's almost been obstructed. Like they're like, I don't know. And I'm just like, dang, are these times where like demons come into our life? Yeah. Or is it like the simulation is glitching and it's just like, not even like, sometimes I'll be going about my day and then I'll walk into spaces where I feel like people stare. Like,
oh yeah,
and it would be when I'm like at my highest point, when I'm like, okay, everything's going good. Like, I don't even gotta be afraid of nothing no more. Like, I'm like kind of breaking down barriers within my brain.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like when you let go of fear, you attract things, and when you're not focused on things, you attract things. But I notice when I'm in that mind space, where it's just like this world is mine. I can literally do whatever I want. I'm in control.
Yeah.
I feel like people start to like notice, yeah. And I don't know if it's the energy that I'm putting out, or if it's around, like,
it could be because people, like, energy is a real thing, and I feel like if people have bad energy, they pick up on the people who have good energy, and it's like sometimes they get like kind of like offended in a way, or I guess offended about good energy, and maybe it's just like triggering something, like wait,
like that's even not to go on a tangent, but like I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was telling her about how I was watching something like a compilation of videos of newscasters, and when people mention like God, or like, not to be too religious, guys, but like when people mention their faith, it was a video of a guy literally going like he stuck his tongue out and hissed, and then turned to the camera, and then kind of paused, and then they just went on with the interview. But it was like something literally.
The newscaster did that?
Yes, I'm going to show you after the podcast.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, she thinks that sometimes people are not aware, but they have like dark energy or like some demonic energy in them. And it hops out. Like when they say like the jealousy hopped out of you, like that stuff be hopping out.
Yeah, because it's literally, if you allow something to fester and this like, you have this like animosity or like bad spirit, it's literally like, it's like negative energy that you like putting out, and it's like literally, because people could not even have control. Like that man who you seen in the car probably couldn't even control it.
Yeah, and I was just like, and it's, I have some more stories, but I'm gonna let you do yours, but it's crazy.
I don't think I ever had any demonic encounters in a way of like, okay, I could tell a story that my parents told me.
Okay.
Growing up, because my parents are really into spirituality and crystals and stuff like that. So one day they told me like they were visiting a crystal store, and it was these people who were in there, and they were talking, and they started getting into deeper conversations. And then they told my parents that they studied to be able to travel to these different planes, and that they trapped a boy's spirit who was lost, like a lost soul, that they trapped him in this different plane of existence. And it's just like, when they told, because I feel like I'm missing, because it was when I was younger they told me the story, and I feel like people have that, like, if you're studying this dark magic or dark ways of dark spirituality, and they would start laughing. They told me that they started laughing like, oh, it's a joke, like, and they just like, what? Why would you
tell us that first of all, and why would you
joke
do that
about it and do that to us, like thinking that, I don't know if they just thought I don't know, they was probably demons, because only a demonic spirit and a demonic would do something like that. How are you're trapping a little boy who's probably don't know, because you know how they say with ghosts, like sometimes they get lost and don't know that they actually died, and they like still walk in the planes of the earth. They went in and like trapped him in this, like, I guess limbo state,
like a purgatory almost,
where he didn't know, and they laughing about it. So I'm just like, stuff like that, I feel like people really dabble and get into it and think like that stuff is like a joke.
As much as like we walk around every day and we lead with light, we be like, oh my God is on our side, like we have so much light to us. We talk about our glows and about our energy, like about how when we think so highly of ourselves, we break down so many layers of fear. But I feel like a lot of times people believe in that fully, which is good. But where they make a mistake is they don't believe in the opposite, the opposing force. And there's no way that good can exist without evil. Like light has to exist through darkness. Like we got God and we got the devil, like you know, or Jesus and the devil, because I don't even put the devil on God's level. So I feel like sometimes like we'll be like, oh, that doesn't happen, like that couldn't be true, like why would, like they're probably just joking. But if we choose to accept like, oh, we have good luck, we have blessings. We choose to walk in faith, even whatever religious practice you practice, but you choose like what we describe as light. How could there not be an opposing force to that? Exactly. Because light doesn't just like we're not in paradise.
Holy. Yeah, and it's just like the best world.
Yeah, that's if it was only light, we would be in paradise already. We would have no disease. We would have no anger. We would have no vindictiveness. But there is darkness here. Definitely. And if people are dedicating their life to like being better and learning spiritually how to heal, why do you think it's people out here dedicating how to hurt, how to create chaos? Like, because people believe that power comes from chaos, money comes from chaos. Like, there's a lot of people who thrive off of chaos.
Exactly.
Like, look at Twitter. Like, people wake up and choose chaos every single day. So, I feel like it's important to acknowledge, like, why would your parents lie?
And that's the thing is like I know for a fact that this man said that to them. Yeah. So it's like for maybe he was making up stories. Yeah, but I highly doubt it.
And then you're in a spiritual, you're in a botanica. What do they call it? Botanicas or botanical?
I don't know.
It's something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like there's one down the street, and that one's creepy too. Mm-hmm. They got a dead Jesus in their window, and I get weird vibes passing by there.
And that's the thing, it's like people, because crystals, I feel like all of that stuff, you could, like you said, you could use it for light, or some people could use it and find ways to like manipulate and like cause these bad things to happen. Because like literally it's a balance, but they was definitely dabbling in some negative darkness where if y'all was able to trap a lost soul and then thinking that is funny, like, and even if that's a lie, like,
but people do it in different ways. Like, you could spiritually like trap somebody, but like even think about our everyday life where people talk to us, or you're in a fucked up housing situation, your parents are like horrible people, or you're surrounded by just negativity, poverty, all this stuff. It conditions your mind to be trapped in a certain limbo to where your spirit is not going up or down. It's gonna stay stagnant. Where it is. It's stagnant. You don't grow. It's like, that's scary. I feel like that manifests in real life, and people can practice it spiritually.
I totally agree. I think that like how we like some people, because I don't really believe that it is completely like heaven or hell. I do believe that it is on earth. Like, we experience different like levels of that. Like, you could reach like enlightenment and positivity if you like growing as a positive person. And if I don't, I mean, we don't know exactly what happens afterwards, but to who they believe in that, I do believe it's a way of, because some people have like really tough environments that they live in, and they
hell on earth. Like, people be living through hell on earth, and they be in mental prisons.
Yeah, and I feel like if you don't know how to balance or how to break out of that mental fog of just like this is what life is like, then you're basically living in hell in a way, in your own like, I guess, manifestation of it. But I feel like we kind of like our mind is so powerful that it could reach to these different levels of like of
understanding of the world around us. Definitely. I do think so. And just like your brain grows in knowledge as you study, when you study spirituality, I think that grows, whether it be in a good way or towards a negative service.
Definitely. Like some people are really like, okay, I could use this to like these people, like, I could trap somebody in, or I could practice on him and practice these weird seance rituals, whatever.
And speaking of like different planes, do you think that people can reach different planes of existence? It kind of is leading into a story, but I kind of want to hear your opinion. When you do like psilocybins or things like acid, shrooms, things like that, do you think you could unlock a different plane and kind of like see into this reality we're talking about, or like cut your mind off to it?
I definitely do, and I definitely think that is a way. Like, say if you have all of these negative thoughts and you're going through all this stuff, you just believe in all this negativity that's you have in your mind, and you do something like that, it's accessing you to like where your mind is at. you're gonna gravitate towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like, and if you have like a true, like, you know yourself, you want to be like on a more you have like more of a positive vibe, and you try these to get more enlightenment on positive level,
Mm-hmm.
and you can attract to that way too. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it all depends on your true mindset, and that opens the door to like, okay, this is what I want you to learn, and this is what I want. But if your mind is in a bad space, it could be like, well, this is what you're gravitating, this is what your
Mm-hmm.
energy is gravitating towards, so you're gonna see this type of environment. Yeah.
So recently, well, the last shroom trip I went on, like, girl, it was crazy. I haven't been this shroom since because I was low-key spooked by it. I don't know if I told you.
Mm-mm.
So me and my little sister, we were going downtown to like a flea market.
Yeah.
And we were coming down Alameda, but we were coming from like South Central. So like, think driving from like Manchester and Alameda all the way through Alameda downtown at nighttime. Mind you, like, if
That's
you're not from
scary.
LA, yeah, Alameda is like deep in the warehouse district, and no matter what part of Alameda you're going up, it's kind of secluded. It's kind of gives like a empty warehouse kind of vibe to it, because there's no housing over there. There's not a lot of life over there in general, just people working. So we're driving down Alameda, girl, the shrooms start to hit. I'm like, like, but they were hitting in a different way to where, like, I think I had my first bad trip, because I've always had good experience on shrooms. I'm a pretty positive person. Like, I've never had a bad experience on shrooms. But this time, bro, I just felt like a darkness come over me. And it wasn't really over me. It was around the environment.
Yeah, definitely.
And I kept saying, like, Tink, like, something bad over here happened. I kept telling her, I'm like, it's a darkness over here. It's a darkness over here.
Yeah.
And she was just like, what? Like, are you too hot? I'm like, it was to the point I had to pull over. I'm like, bro, I'm scared to be over here. We got to get from over here. Like, it's darkness over here. Like, I finally, like, I'm driving, and like by this time it's kind of scaring me because my depth perception becomes off. So before I got my glasses, when I drive at night, everything is like flashing lights to me. I don't ever be able to see any figures. So I was driving and the lanes are this close. There's no divider in the middle. So it's just flashing lights like all down. And when I get into this lane, it's like that's where the train is. So I'm between a barrier, and I'm afraid that I'm going to crash into the barrier. So I have to stay where the lights are, but I can't see. It's blinding lights. So I'm just moving forward, and I'm moving forward off of energy. But I'm like, there's something wrong here. Like, it's so much darkness around. And she thought I was like tripping. She's like, girl, So we get to Washington and Alameda, and I'm like, it seems familiar because I used to work down there. So I stop at the gas station, and I'm like, Brandon, like, get out the car, like, get us some snacks. I gotta sober up, like something. I'm like, can you drive? She's scared to drive. I'm like, okay, like, I gotta sober up. I'm with my sister. We got somewhere to go too. Like, bro, tell me why. I go into the store with her. Guy acting weird. I'm just like, ew, like. He started talking to us about something random, like, just going on. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And you know me, I'm, like, very calm. So I'm like, stop talking to us. Like, you, like, leave us alone. Because I felt like he was, like, having bad energy. Like, his face was scary looking. I'm just like, girl, we get in the car. And I'm about to pull out of the gas station, make a right so I could get back onto Washington. Somebody I assume it's just like our homeless neighbor. Like, they walk by, they look crazy. They literally look like they were a part of the Manson family. Like, they were super frail, white, long, brown, like, wavy hair. Like, they look scary. Their face look like they almost like a demon. Like, and I'm like, maybe I'm tripping, so I don't say nothing, because I'm like, maybe she don't say. I don't want to keep putting her in a fucked up mood. And I'm like, I'm already making it us late. She's scared now. Like, this is my little sister, y'all. Like, 8 years younger than me, little sister. So I'm like, I need to get it together. Bro, I'm like, I pull into the parking spot. I'm like, let me just sober up, Brian. Give me 5 minutes. Let me breathe. The person had already walked by. I'm like, I was like, we need to get out of here soon, because I'm not getting a good feeling. Bro, why we were about to pull out, and we were just sitting there, and I'm like, I don't think I could drive. Bro, the person walks by again. They walk in front of my car and literally go, and then they smile and go. Bro, their teeth was like so just like broadened. Like, they literally look like a walking demon. I'm just like, bro, like, hell No, I was so afraid, bro. It was scary. And Brianna, at that moment, she turns to me and say, sis, we got to get out of here. I said, did you see that? She said, yes. I was like, I'm not tripping. She said, no, we got to get out of here right now.
Oh, my God.
Bro, if no, and I tried to tell Dana that. She did not believe me. I said, call Brianna.
Yeah.
Like, it was so scary. Like, they were, like, the moment where I was like, I'm getting a bad feeling, they just... turn, and then the way they just smiled and waved, like, come here. And I was like, I feel like it, because like, I'm not afraid of anybody experiencing homelessness.
Definitely.
I have my career, my background is in serving the homeless population, so I'm not one of those people like, oh, a homeless guy, I'm scared. Like, nah, this was something else. Like, this was very, very scary. I thank God Brianna was there, because I don't think anybody would have believed me. But they literally, like, imagine, like, it was given Charles Manson. Like, it was so afraid, like, that emptiness in their eyes. Like, I was horrified. And I'm telling you, as soon as we got downtown, it was like darkness lifted. I was still high. I was still tripping, y'all. I was still tripping, but it was like a darkness was lifted off. I was like, I feel so much better. And Brianna was like, I think I get what you were saying. Like, after she seen that, she was like, it is. When we're going home, I'm on the freeway. It's still dark over there, because I'm like, maybe I'm just tripping because it was night and it's so little light. I'm on the freeway. It's still a lot of darkness. I was like, I feel so much lighter. I was like, it was a difference over there. And I just felt this doom, this feeling of like despair and doom, and just a darkness over that area. And it wasn't until we got on the freeway where I was like, it feels way better. It feels like light. She was like, I kind of think I understand what you were saying.
That's crazy.
So and like, I don't know if it was the shrooms that like kind of opened my mind, but then it's like she was completely sober, so I'm just like, she's seen it too.
And even picked up that, because it seems like she wasn't at first like, girl, what?
She wasn't believing.
But if you had like, that's
it was crazy. I was terrified.
Oh my God, that is scary.
And I have not done them since, because I'm like, let me just make sure I'm in the best space possible.
Yeah, because
and
I feel like that's another thing. You know, you are usually a positive person, and you don't like dwell on negativity, but I feel like when you're in areas and in these different spaces where it is like heavy, I feel like you can pick up, you could
be susceptible to like
and even pick up that energy, like, this is uncomfortable, this is weird, I know my energy is like better than this, I wouldn't be in this like dark space. So y'all, don't go to Alameda.
Don't go to Alameda at night. 8 o'clock. Like, y'all know how creepy it get down. Like, people are scared of downtown, but they be in, like, central downtown. If y'all go to Alameda and Washington, get into those warehouses, and just the history of LA. LA is such a creepy city already.
It is, There's
nothing that can tell me different that many people have died in that area, because there's so many homeless people. And it's not, like, the regular homeless. It's, like, people who have, like, said, 30 years I'm living in this and under this tent, like the violence that they experience, like
people coming to
sexual assault, torture. There's people in LA who hunt homeless people.
We've seen some stories.
So it's just like it gets really creepy out here.
That is an experience that I would never want to say it like that, but that's so scary.
No, it was
like, that would have shook me to my core. Like, I can't, like, because I'm 100% believer in that, like, complete energies, like, or spaces could be dwelling on these, like, negative experiences, and these people who just, like, have this, like, doom and gloom and go through so much hardship and just let it take over them. And that's, like, spewing off of people's energy, and it's, like, a collective.
It's scary.
Oh, my God.
But, y'all stay woke.
I'm
safe. So I'm like, I be experiencing those things. I'd be like, I'll be scared in the moment, but I just try to, like,
that you are could not be stuck in that mental state, because all of it's energy, y'all, no matter what. So make sure your energy is good. That's scary.
What's telling the truth. It's all about energy.
For real.
Yes. Do you have another Reddit story?
I do.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yes. Let me see. Okay, this is getting into more of the sleep paralysis.
Okay.
Okay, so this one says, What to do during or after sleep paralysis. Need advice. So it says, for the first time in a long time, I have experienced something what is probably sleep paralysis. They weren't too sure. It says it happened last night. I seemed partially awake from a dream by the sound of my desktop chair being rolled backwards and someone saying, I'm glad you're finally alone. But in my native language. They didn't say what their native language was, but followed by...
I don't know. It seems so much scarier.
Yeah. Followed by chaotic footsteps and the feeling of being held down by someone by the shoulders. I was in a state of total fear and trying my very best to move. I couldn't open my eyes. It was all sounds and feelings. When I managed to move, I turned on the lights and checked the room. There was no one there and the door was locked. It was clearly a dream/hallucination. Although I was very sleepy, I stayed awake. I was afraid to go back to sleep, and it happened again. Oh, and it happening again. So I was like, oh.
I was going to say, you was awake and it happened? Like, real. Oh my God.
It said I was still feeling very anxious, so I decided to listen to music to get rid of the fear. I did this for about an hour until I decided to go back to sleep. Did I do the right thing? What can I do in case it happens again? That's scary. I've never, like, every time I have sleep paralysis, it's always like, well, I could get into another story. One that was really scary to me that happened recently. Fell asleep downstairs. So I think I was watching something. I fell asleep in bed first, and then I went downstairs to watch TV because I didn't want to. My husband was sleeping in bed. So I went downstairs and started watching something, and I started dozing off. And then I felt myself get into the sleep paralysis. And I'm like, oh, like, I always get I never get really fully scared in sleep paralysis. I always just feel kind of annoyed because I can't move. So it's just like, let me try to, like, get up. Let me try to get up. So I kept trying to get up, and I'm like, let me call for Samir. So, and I started calling his name, like, and he was like, huh? Like, I seen him, like, look over the stairs because he was at the top of the stairs. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need help, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, coming. And I'll see him walk, like, 3 steps and then vanish. And it kept, like, he did that, like, 3 times. Like, okay, I'm coming. Like, okay, I'm coming.
Just
and disappear at the stairs. I'm like, and when I was in that state, I wasn't even scared of that. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, why does he keep doing that? But then I woke up out of it, and I'm like, oh.
Wait, how was he disappearing?
Just like.
No, did your brain ever say, like, wait, he's disappearing?
It was just like, why is he doing that? Like, I don't know why. Like, in that moment, I was just like, why is he doing that? Like, come downstairs fully. Like, why you keep, like. In a way, I was like, yeah, like, why you keep disappearing? Like, come down. But I woke up out of that, and I'm like, let me go upstairs. Yeah. I went right back upstairs and slept in my bed because I was so spooked. I was like, okay, that so is weird. Scary. Like, he really, like, was vanishing. Like, I'm like, what?
And he was in the bed when you went upstairs?
Yeah, he was in bed. And he didn't hear. Because it feels like when I'm, like, screaming, like, it feels like I'm saying it out loud. It feels, like, real. Like, I'm really, like, hey, Samir, come help me. Like, you know. But I was like, did you hear anything? Like, did you hear me? He was like, no, I didn't hear nothing. I was just asleep. So that was so scary to me.
I wonder, like, have you ever seen people, like, move their mouth or, like, mumble when they're asleep?
I wish I could record myself, but I don't it's always a random situation when I'm in sleep paralysis. So it's never like I could take the time out, let me record myself. I know I'm going to be in sleep paralysis today.
But would you want to, like, if you had the choice to, like, have a recording of every night when you went to sleep,
I would want to
and you would wake up the next day and watch it, would you?
Definitely. Because I would want to see what my body is, like, actually looking like or doing when I'm in this situation.
What would you do if you were subconsciously, like, getting up and walking around?
I'll be spooked because I'll be like, wait, what? How am I? And then for, like, because, you know, I live with my husband, so if I'm doing that, he's not, like,
aware of it,
seeing that because some people do. I've seen, like, stories of this lady who, like, does these, like, weird things in her sleep in the middle of the night. Like, she'll get up and she's, like, having these full-on conversations, but she's asleep. So stuff like that, I'm like, dang, I would really, like, freak out if I, like, couldn't have control. Because you could do anything. Like, if that's the case, like, you could just get up and, like, I don't know. That's scary.
It is. It is.
I would hope. I'm pretty sure I don't, because it would have been, like.
But you never know. It just, like, even having these conversations is making me realize how vulnerable we are
in our sleep.
Our minds are vulnerable and our bodies are.
Yeah. That's why I feel like you have to have the right energy, y'all. Yeah. And make sure y'all are not dwelling on anything, like, crazy, because I feel like that's when you're most susceptible to, like,
bad dreams
and bad energy latching on. Because I feel like literally, like how you say you in the store and you have this positive energy and they like people are staring. I feel like if that is like how they have these, they're like, oh, think she's not like us in a way. So I feel
and then
like
people start get mad and they start. That's how haters from. But even on that's a small level like of a hater. But imagine people who are really going through like spiritual warfare. Or they're tapped in just like those people at the Botanica that your parents seen. Like imagine like just. Imagine them from their perspective seeing two people fully in love and emitting that kind of good energy. Like they was like, let me go disrupt this. Let me go twist this. Let me go show them like what's out there, what kind of darkness is out there. Like
it definitely could have been. That's scary. So I feel like make sure y'all are. I feel like you got to be strong spiritually too, because people always say like mentally strong, physically strong, but spiritually you have to be strong because your whole spirit is when that's what, not saying it matters most, but your spirit and that's like your essence, and it's constantly under attack, and people don't like. It's like people be like, oh my God, you're like crazy, you're so spiritual, thinking like this. But if your body could be under attack, people attack your mind every day with gaslighting from the people in your life to your parents and trauma you go through to the society you live in, making you feel like you're down. People attack you mentally. People attack you physically. Why wouldn't it be attacking spiritually? Yeah, and I feel like literally your spiritual is like the most grounding one that would be able to enhance your mental because it's your moral compass. Exactly. People, it could be two of the same people going to the exact same thing. One of them could go down the dark path, and one of them could bring out of it light and goodness and like so it's like I feel like, and we were talking about this earlier about that story, but I do feel like two people could literally go through the same thing and have totally different life experiences because of how strong spiritually and how enhanced, like, because it's spiritual, and then that could help your mental, and then the physical being. But I do believe spiritual is the most, not the most. They're all. I think it's highly important. Highly important to make sure your spiritual is. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, I can stand firm on it. I believe after this lifetime, we leave our physical being. So from just that, like, being said, spirituality, your spiritual essence and your spiritual importance, to me, it trumps your physical thing. Because there's people, you will have your arm cut off, like you will be in a bad accident and your legs are cut off, and or you're bound to a wheelchair when your whole life you've been able to be able and had like some kind of freedom. And then you hear about people who literally like they win Olympics with one leg because it's not their physical, it's their spirit that keeps going. And it's like, even when your body's like, when you're pushed to the limits of your body, like a great athlete or somebody who's just like have to break themselves down, the thing that they have is their spirit. Like, if you think about it in that way. And like, I think when you die, your body is the circle of life, but your spirit rises, and then in 1,000 years, 100 years, 10 years, 1 year, your spirit can end up in a whole different tree, a dog. Until you're finished with the cycles you need to finish. But like, I totally agree. So that's number one, y'all. Make sure y'all spiritual is great, so none of these dark energies could come and attack, because they be trying. But make sure y'all strong. So, do you happen to have another Reddit? I have one more Reddit story. It's a LA urban legend. I'm actually really excited because it's kind of creepy. I'm going to try to paraphrase it for y'all. Yeah, they did go. But yeah, they went into a lot of detail. Let me see if I can find it. So, Reddit. Okay. Let's get into it. I found the link. And this is the buried man in Burbank. Like, so y'all LA natives, y'all know about Burbank. Up the street, a little north by Pasadena. Yeah. So I found on this page, it's a whole page dedicated to the man who was buried alive in a public park in Burbank. So the story goes, and this has been circulating since around 2011. Hundreds of flyers posted and posters and signs have appeared around Burbank and the LA metro area, posted in high visibility areas such as utility boxes, grocery stores, parks, etc. A blog post on Tumblr, possibly transforming from October 2011.
that don't matter.
Yeah.
It started in 2011. The legend goes that there was an incident with 5 policemen in Burbank and 1 Richmond, and they abducted a victim at a location referred to as Ralph's Castle. So if you're from LA, I feel like there's a lot of different creepy places that are
Definitely.
like the Cecil Hotel. There's a castle, like the Magic Castle, like in Hollywood, that you can only go with invite. There are certain hotspots that some creepy stuff happen, and it's kind of like urban legend.
Yeah.
So this is off the 134 freeway. So at this site, the unidentified victim alleges, mind you, from what I read of the story, I believe that this man was in a mental hospital and he's telling what actually happened to him.
Yeah.
So at this site, the unidentified victim alleges that the test and torture was done by the rich man and 5 police officers. Some posters that have been found around the city depict him nude with objects inserted into his body, connected to generators and wires. And in one poster, he states that the rich man, who he alleges is the boss of the officer, switches clothes with him. Several posters make reference to bodies being hidden in large pipes on Ralph's Castle, and the Burbank police has hidden and disposed of them. So basically saying that they're out there hunting people, kidnapping people, torturing people. The police are in it, and it's like a rich man's sport. What's that movie or that documentary that came out on Netflix a few years ago? Squid Games. It's giving Squid Games, y'all.
Yeah, but worse in a way, because it's not even like you could win a prize.
Yeah, y'all not even fighting for y'all rights. Y'all just dying. Just
getting tortured.
Yeah. So, after an unidentified amount of times, the police bring the victim to a nearby park, drug him, and buried him alive after being tortured. He states that someone, a deformed witness, a quote-unquote deformed person, witnessed this incident. The witness is often depicted as a wrinkle or possibly badly burned and referred to by the victim as the hidden man or the man that was hiding. He refers to this witness as a rubber face or Napoleon face and mentions that the witness lives somewhere near the LA River.
So, okay, just to
clarify,
the victim got out of it alive.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
And he said it's just somebody who's a bystander who's seeing all this.
Yes. The person who's speaking, he was at the St. Joseph Medical Center.
Oh, okay.
And this is where he tells his story.
Okay.
Yes. So nearly all the posters seen around LA describe a series of fantastic and arguably impossible situations he encountered. Because based on what he encountered, he couldn't still be alive.
Yeah.
And his experience while being buried alive, up to and including his escape to the local hospital of St. Joseph Medical Center.
Okay.
The first of which he is finding a door or a hatch once buried. After speaking to God, he states several times that God told him to find a hidden door in the ground, or that God wept and his tears revealed the hidden door for his escape through a series of tunnels and passages under the park and into the pipe leading to the nearby hospital. He often illustrates E.T. in these posters, occasionally to depict God or as a toy he encountered underground. Another toy he illustrates on the posters is a banana in pajamas doll, which he refers to as the food that looked wrong. Several posters depict him as being given books and dolls featuring penis characters. This is creepy.
I know.
A few of the posters found in 2011 depict cutaway maps of the passage found under the park. In these images, the victim suggests that he moved from the initial hole/grave into 2 separate stacked caverns, the lower of them containing a large pipe that connects to St. Joseph's Hospital. And it gets into what these posters look like and all the media attention that it's received. But the crazy thing is, after you read the story, there's people who are from LA, Burbank area. There's a guy who says, I have lived in Burbank since 1967 and I've never heard of this one. Oddly, all the locations mentioned are accurate. I've partied at most of these places in the 70s when I was in high school. I have partied in the tube that goes from that park to St. Joseph Hospital. I have hung out in the equestrian area over the footbridge. Heck, we used to party at Forest Lawn at night, which is a popular cemetery out here. I've known the rich guy speculated upon. There is a rich guy. He owned a steakhouse here in Burbank called The Ramp. Oh. My mom worked there as a waitress for years. We're going to fact track The Ramp. Can you see if the Ramp ever existed?
Yeah.
Now I'm down a rabbit hole looking into this and trying to figure out why I didn't see or hear about this a decade earlier ago. Not going to lie, it's a little weird reading the haunts I used to hang out with. And this person does like...
The Ramp Restaurant and Bar in Burbank.
Okay. So, yes, that was the urban legend of the man who was buried alive. So
that sounded about accurate.
It sounded about accurate. And the places are lining up. Yeah. And the fact that there's an actual pipeline that goes from that specific area where he said he was kidnapped to the hospital. That's crazy. And we've seen, like, if you're an LA native, you've seen on the news, there have been people who have been caught on camera. They've never got caught in real life, but they've been documented on camera. Attacking homeless people, hunting them for sports. Homeless people have said that they've come out and they've been hunted. They've been attacked by people. There's people who really believe in the survival of the fittest. And there's people who believe that overpopulation is a threat to us. And there's people who believe that if you're not contributing to what they think you should be contributing to society, that you don't deserve to live.
Wow.
And I do feel like the mentally ill and the people who experience homelessness, they're very vulnerable to these type of crazy people. Exactly. And I believe that, I don't know if I believe that every detail of this story, because I'm like, how could you be buried and get out? Like, this is not Kill Bill. But I mean, it's a possibility. And maybe they wanted him to get out because it's like, who's going to believe him?
Yeah. And maybe they didn't. Maybe they was like drunk or slipped up and didn't like pack it in so that he would die. Maybe they just like whatever. Like,
and then when you're going through that kind of like torture, who knows what you're gonna like see or manifest in your brain,
that
or how
banana thing was kind of like crazy.
What? Yeah,
he said the banana, but you'd seen that.
Yeah,
I mean, but it could be. He could be
hallucinating.
Yeah, he could have.
But I do believe that there's a high chance that there's a person in LA who has been kidnapped by people who hunt and torture for sport. And I don't know, it's crazy.
It's scary.
Yes. Have y'all heard about this urban legend?
Or any urban legends in LA? Like, I've never really dabbled into like seeing that, because I be kind of like, let me protect my peace. Yeah. But this was a really good story.
It made me want to like get into some research and really like follow up, especially like who's been making these signs, posters. Somebody in the Reddit took credit for it, but who knows?
To take credit, like, and anybody could take credit.
I don't know, when you hear like these people who are going through these things talk about what could have been or like what they experienced, do you ever feel like there's a vein of truth to that?
I do.
Or do you kind of write them off and be like, they're probably just crazy?
I don't write off most things, because I feel like this world is a crazy place, and for somebody to just elaborately, like this man who probably seems like he don't have everything together, elaborately come up with a story of just this whole play out of something that supposedly happened and it just be completely false. I don't think it's to me, it's not possible for something like that to be completely false. And then
he would have he's quote unquote crazy, but he's able to tell you where underground tunnels are that modern people don't. This guy said he knew about this in the 70s.
Yeah, and I'm sure by now that they do not.
They sealed up so many holes in LA. Yeah, that's another conspiracy theory, because I heard motherfuckers up there living under there. Yeah, and they hiding stuff under there, all kind of stuff. Like,
it's crazy, y'all. But I think we could end it. That one's like the spookiest one. We could end it.
It's been spooky season.
Super spooky.
I don't know, y'all. I want y'all to comment down. Like, if y'all had a paranormal experience, sleep paralysis, or even y'all own urban legends. I don't know if your grandmama be telling y'all stories or crazy things that you've experienced or people around you. Like, we want to hear it.
We want to hear it. We want to hear all y'all feedback. Make sure you guys, if you guys like this, make sure y'all like it. Make sure y'all are subscribing, because if y'all want us to do more of these little spooky ones, we definitely can.
I liked it. I did too. Yes. Open my door.
I know, like, I gotta leave.
Like, I'm scared. I hope it's still light outside when we open the window.
For real.
So,
this has been a fun fun episode. Like I said, make sure y'all like and comment, subscribe, and make sure y'all give us 5-star on
share
the podcast.
Share with a friend, share with your man, share with your mom.
Yes.
Make sure y'all comment, share, rate our podcast. It means so much. The algorithm, y'all need to push us up.
Period.
We come every week. We need y'all to come through for us.
Yes. And this has been New
Girls on the Block. Bye.